Welcome everybody to the program tonight. So thanks for joining me. So again, the program is Breakout Alternative Avenues to Exhibit and Sell Your Artwork. So note that all suggestions and tips tonight are my opinions from years of experience as an artist and gallerist, as well as from input and feedback from other art professionals such as art gallery owners and art organization executives. And as we all know, there's no one way to do anything, so you may choose to do things in a different way if you feel that they are best for you in your particular situation. So tonight we will learn about the myriad of opportunities for visual artists to showcase and sell their artwork independently from the traditional gallery structures and reach a broader and more diverse audience, exhibiting in alternative venues and generating income through subscription services, online galleries, art rentals and leasing, and classes. So we have a lot to cover in a short amount of time. So visual artists have countless avenues through which they can exhibit and sell their artwork without necessarily relying on the conventional framework of art galleries. This multifaceted landscape encompasses various platforms and strategies that afford artists greater autonomy and direct access to their audience. So the first thing we're going to talk about is art fairs and markets. So local event participation. So actively participating in local art fairs, outdoor art fairs, craft shows, community markets serves as an effective means of garnering exposure within a community that values the authenticity and originality of handmade artwork. So there's a lot of local fairs, like in the Bay Area, there's Renegade and there's Bazaar. There's outdoor art fairs. There's all sorts of them, especially in the summertime, craft shows, community markets. You know, I have a lot of artists that I know started showing their work at the local farmers markets. Very affordable to rent a space there, very easy to set up. And so there's not a lot of competition. So a lot of farmers markets are very popular and get a really big turnout. So selling your artwork, especially affordable pieces through a farmers market, is a really good alternative avenue that doesn't cost much money and isn't a large time commitment. There's also pop-up exhibitions, so pioneering pop-up exhibitions in non-traditional venues such as cafes, coffee houses, bookstores, theater lobbies, rented gallery spaces, temporary storefront spaces, co-working spaces, or community centers creates a unique and intimate setting for artists to showcase their work. So if you feel comfortable, you can approach in person local businesses like cafes and coffee houses or bookstores and theater lobbies to set up a pop-up exhibition for a weekend, for an event one night or something like that. And that way you have control over your setup. Usually these type of venues don't charge any money for artists to set up. And it's a great way for them to offer their clients and customers a more exciting experience and environment in their business. Especially bookstores like to tie into topics that they're covering, or topics that are current, or topics that they have sections in their books. Okay. Forming partnerships with local businesses, organizations, and event planners can open avenues for artists to display and work in unconventional yet high visibility settings. So setting up collaborations and partnerships with local businesses, such as if your art is concentrating on issues such as climate change and environmental protection, you might contact a local business or a local not-for-profit about setting up an event or participating in an event like a trade show that they may be sponsoring. So you could show your artwork through a collaborative endeavor such as that. And there's online collaborative projects, so collaborating with other creatives, influencers, or brands for online campaigns expands an artist's reach and introducing their work to entire new and diverse audiences. So I've experienced several companies such as Lincoln Mercury and a couple other businesses that have approached me to set up my artwork in collaboration with programs that they're doing. So if you again have artwork that connects with a business or not-for-profit by any subject matter, if you paint seascapes, you might look for organizations that do work in expanding or exploring biology in the sea, things like that. So you can get creative. There's also charity event auctions, so donating artwork to charity events, whether for silent auctions or live auctions, can be a meaningful and rewarding experience for artists and donors alike. So they increase your visibility. So artists who donate their artwork gain exposure to new audiences. Charity events often attract a diverse group of attendees, including art enthusiasts, philanthropists, and potential buyers. Such exposure can lead to increased recognition, networking opportunities, and potentially new opportunities for collaboration or commissions. I've participated in many charity events in the Bay Area, specifically ArtSpan Open Studios. They do a gala every spring. And also there is Hospitality House. What's great about Hospitality House is art gallery owners actually coordinate the auction. And so if you participate with Hospitality House, your artwork automatically gets seen by local art gallery owners. There's also Art for Eight. So those are three Bay Area, very prestigious charity auctions that happen annually. And so lots of people that buy art and collect art come to these events. They may see your art for the first time. They may go home and research who you are and find more about you, and maybe even purchase your work. So artists and their work are often featured prominently in event promotions, catalogs, and press releases, offering valuable exposure and recognition. So it's very time-consuming and costly to do your own press releases and publicity. But if you can tie in through a charity event, many times they feature catalogs that have all the artists' work in it. They do promotions through TV, radio, and print, and they use artists' artwork in those as well. And they send out press releases about the event and they list the artists. So this is a way to get some additional publicity. Participating in these charity events can also lead to media coverage, enhancing the artist or collector's public profile. So I know that ArtSpan has coordinated with local TV organizations and channels to have artists go on as a guest in some of their programs, early morning programs, to talk about their work and talk about the upcoming event. And also charity events attract a diverse audience, including potential buyers, gallery owners, and fellow artists. So this creates opportunities for networking within the art community. Connecting with like-minded individuals can open doors to collaborations, exhibitions, and other artistic endeavors. So by participating in a charity event, you have a great opportunity to network with people in the community that are interested in buy art as well. Okay, so those are a lot of suggestions that we just covered. We got a lot more, so we'll stop and see if anybody has a question. Raise your hand if you have a question about anything we've covered so far. Okay. Has anybody participated in charity event auctions? Raise your hand. Okay, so Colette, if you want to unmute yourself, so did you find that was a fun and worthwhile experience? See, Colette, let's see, I think you actually just muted yourself.
Sure did. I'm sorry.
No
Yeah,
problem.
it was good for exposure. It really is. In fact, Stephen, I am not able to produce a lot of work because I'm caretaking my husband and my son. But the few pieces that I do, I make prints out of them, and they're happy to get the canvas prints to auction off. So it's a reasonable way for me to duplicate and to donate something in a reasonable sense, and
Okay, good.
exposure. So it
And
was.
they're fun events to participate in too.
Yes, they are. Very fun. Always lots of wine and good food and fun people.
So I was at an event in San Francisco, one of the charity auctions, and there was a couple behind me, and I could eavesdrop in what they were saying. It ended up the couple, they had a tech startup that they had sold for several $1 million. And so they bought 8 pieces that evening. And so they were actively there buying art and collecting art. So you never know what kind of people are going to be attending these events and purchasing the work and then interested in maybe buying additional work. Yeah, great. Tina, did you have your hand up earlier?
No, I just gave a thumbs up because I think I mentioned last class that I was actually a live painter at a few charity auctions,
Uh-huh.
which was really cool. And at the end, I think the piece sold for like, I don't know, 500 bucks or something. But they gave it back to me because they said they just wanted to donate the money to the good cause. It was for veterans. Or yeah, it was veterans. And then they gave me the painting back, so I still have it.
So you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Tina, thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the presentation. Okay, so there's also selling your art online, and this can be very challenging and difficult, but there's a lot of possibilities. I usually don't promoting selling your art online through third-party ventures, but I think this is something, if you want to take the time to research, there's quite a few possibilities. So visual artists can navigate the vast online landscape to sell their artwork, leveraging various platforms and strategies to reach a national or global audience. So first off, of course, there's your personal artist website. So artists have the option of establishing and maintaining their own dedicated websites, providing an exclusive space to showcase their art portfolio. This not only allows comprehensive control over the presentation, but also enables artists to articulate and reinforce their unique brand and narratives. So your website is a great opportunity for you to create, design your own navigation and design and present your work the way you want to present it. So you can add e-commerce integration into your website. So this functions, the functionalities into artist website empowers artists to directly sell their artwork to collectors. This may involve setting up secure payment gateways and organizing efficient shipping processes. So you could set up a page on your website and call it shop. You can sell your prints through there, or if you have other things like note cards or small originals that are matted and ready to sell, you can set up a little shop on your website. I actually have 2 different websites. I have one for my fine art, which does not have a shop, and it's oriented towards art galleries and fine art collectors. But then I have a second website that I use to sell my very affordable digital prints and silk screens and things like that. And so I can use either of those 2 websites when I'm promoting myself. And I do have e-commerce set up for every item that's on my commercial website. And so I can promote that and attach that link to anything that I want and promote that website for people to go and purchase my affordable artwork that way. Then there's online marketplaces, and there's so many that are out there. So one of the best known is Etsy. So widely known for handmade and unique items, Etsy is an excellent platform for artists. It provides user-friendly interface, allows artists to set up shop, list their artwork, and handle transactions with ease. So when I'm looking for gifts for people, a lot of times I go on to Etsy. They have a great search engine, so I can enter in search for what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for prints of the Golden Gate Bridge or things like that, it pops up a whole variety of artists that create images that feature the Golden Gate Bridge. So it's a very easy platform to work with. They take a cut of what you sell. And the only thing is that Etsy has gotten so big now. There's so many makers and craftspeople and artists on there that sometimes it's a little hard to get visibility. Also, there's eBay. A lot of artists don't think about eBay. So eBay kind of acts the same way as Etsy. The auction style format on eBay can generate excitement and competition among bidders, potentially increasing the value of artists' work. Additionally, eBay offers a global reach for artists looking to expand beyond local markets. So you can, on eBay, have a auction style bidding experience, but you can also have a buy now. And you have a number that you want to sell the artwork for. And you can set that up as buy now. So people can either bid or just see the price, the buy now price, and buy it right away. And again, when I'm looking for gifts or certain things for myself, I find a lot of things on eBay as well. So that's a very active platform, and not very many artists take advantage of eBay. So there's not as much competition. So you might look into that as well and test that out. There's also Amazon Art. Most people are not aware that Amazon has a dedicated art marketplace that caters to a broad audience. So artists can leverage the trusted association with Amazon's brand and tap into a vast customer base. Another online marketplace is uGallery, and usually I don't recommend specific online galleries, but these are people that I know personally, that I know do a really good job, work really hard at getting their website out there. And I know a lot of artists who have sold artwork over many years through uGallery. So it's a curated online gallery offering a unique selection of heirloom quality artwork for both emerging and established artists. So you might look into uGallery. You can apply to participate through uGallery in submitting artwork images. So you can check that out as well. Then there's online art marketplaces. So Saatchi Art is an online art gallery that connects artists with collectors, provides a platform for emerging and established artists to exhibit and sell their artwork globally. Again, I know several artists that have participated with Saatchi Art. It gives you good visibility, but I know there's been problems in the process. I know an artist that sold artwork through Saatchi. There was something that was the purchaser didn't like. I don't know, can't recall if there was a defect or a damage from shipping, but wanted to send the piece back, and the artist had to cover the shipping to the purchaser and back. And so it was very costly for not making a successful sale. Artsy is geared towards connecting galleries, collectors, and artists, and offers curated space for visual artists to showcase and sell their creations. So when you are Googling artist names or Googling topics such as, I go back to the Golden Gate Bridge, a lot of people are looking for specific imagery. So they enter in Golden Gate Bridge painting, Saatchi Art pops up, Artsy pops up. So many of these online marketplaces pop up when you're doing search engine. There's also DeviantArt, so it caters to community of artists and art enthusiasts, and it allows artists to sell prints and merchandise directly to their followers. DeviantArt started out as alternative artists, so artists that were making artwork that was outside the standard subject matter. So they were making art that was about skateboarding or dark art and things like that, but it's expanded beyond that. So you might look into DeviantArt, see what kind of artwork is on their website and see if that you fit into their categories as well. There's ArtStation, and it's focused on the digital art community. ArtStation enabled artists to showcase and sell their digital artwork, catering to a specific niche within the broader art market. There's also print-on-demand services, so like Fine Art America, Redbubble, Printful, Printify, Society6, Zazzle. These are all platforms that allow artists to upload their designs, and upon receiving an order, the platform handles printing, packaging, and shipping. Artists earn a commission on each sale without dealing with inventory management. So these do print on demand when a sale is made. There's also social media platforms, so ledgering platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. It proves instrumental in building a robust online presence. These facilitate the sharing of artwork, fostering direct engagement with potential buyers in a more informal and interactive manner. So within this, there's Instagram. So artists can use Instagram not only to showcase their portfolio, but also to engage with followers through stories, reels, and IGTV. The platform's visual nature is conducive to display and promotion of artwork. Facebook shops. So Facebook allows artists to set up an online shop directly on their page, making it convenient for followers to browse and purchase artwork without even leaving the platform. So you might check into that as well if you're active on Facebook. There's also art subscription and crowdfunding platforms. So there's Patreon and Ko-fi. So artists can utilize these to receive ongoing support from patrons. In return, they offer exclusive content, behind the scene glimpses, and special perks to their supporters. So you get somebody that subscribes and they'll pay you $50 a month to help support your career. And for this, you might once a quarter send out a print to your followers or a set of note cards or something thanking them for continuing to support you. You might even have a special event like a VIP reception in your studio for these people that support you as well. There's Kickstarter and Indiegogo. For larger projects and art-related products, artists can use crowdfunding platforms to raise funds and pre-sell their creations. There's an artist that I know that I really like his work, and he was doing something really unique and different, and he used Kickstarter, and it was something that I was really excited about for him, and so I participated and helped fund his new project. And in return, I got a small gift from him that I still have. So these are other concepts and ideas to think about. So there's also virtual galleries and VR platforms. So there's like Art Steps and Kunstmatrix. These platforms allow artists to create virtual exhibitions and galleries. So visitors can explore and purchase artwork in an immersive online environment. So they go to these websites, they go to your link through your website, and they can actually, through virtual galleries, go in as if they're walking through an art gallery and seeing your artwork on the wall. So it's a really unique way to present your artwork and create a kind of immersive online environment for people to see your artwork, and instead of just flat images on the screen. And there's online forums and communities. So there's Reddit and Discord and forums. These all engage with art communities on these platforms and provide artists with opportunities to showcase their work, receive feedback, and potentially find buyers interested in supporting independent artists. So each of these takes time to engage with. You can find communities that support artists that care about art or care about specific topics and participate with them as well. Then there's email marketing and newsletters. So I find that email newsletters are probably the most effective means to promote your events and promote your artwork. So you need to build a subscriber list so artists can encourage website visitors and social media followers to subscribe to newsletters, regular updates on new artwork, upcoming exhibitions, and exclusive offers can turn subscribers into loyal patrons. So having topics in your email newsletters about new work, upcoming exhibitions that you're participating in, you can give them exclusive offers that are only to the subscribers that are on your email newsletter. There's also art subscription. You can set up an art subscription. So create a subscription program to deliver art to subscribers' doors on a monthly or quarterly basis. So this was very popular probably about 8 to 10 years ago. Quite a few artists set this up, and then I haven't heard much about it lately. So it seems that it kind of died down. So if you set something like this up now, it is probably new and unique to a lot of people, even though it's an old concept. So they can subscribe with a monthly payment or an annual fee. And then once a month or once a quarter, you deliver artwork to these or ship artwork to these subscribers. And so they get artwork from you on a regular basis. These could be prints, they could be small originals, etc. So you can set up a subscription like that. So in conclusion, the internet offers a myriad of opportunities for visual artists to showcase and sell their artwork independently. So by strategically choosing and combining these platforms, artists can establish a robust online presence, connect with diverse audiences, and cultivate a sustainable income for their creative endeavors. So any questions about selling your artwork online? Raise your hand if you have a question. Okay, Caroline, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, Stephen. Since you said you have experience with U Gallery, I was wondering how they do business, what kind of work, what price range they sell things at, and
so I believe their minimum is $600, but that's the last time I looked into it, which was a few years ago. $600 retail. They have in the past provided free shipping to their clients, which makes it very easy for the clients to make a decision. This work is $5,000. I love it. I want it. I buy it. And then the shipping is handled through U Gallery. Again, in the past, they actually shipped a box based on the size and the type of artwork to the artist. So the artist would then pack the artwork in the box and take it to UPS, and UPS would just automatically ship it out to U Gallery's account. So it was pretty easy. It wasn't additional costs to the artist to pack and ship. And it was pretty easy for the artist to handle the packing and shipping of the artwork. Does that answer your question?
part of it, do they take the standard 50% commission? I mean, how do they work?
I'm not sure what they take. Again, you could do a little research and find out about that. But I don't believe they take a full 50%, like most in-person galleries do.
Because I found I met the person who started Artful Home some 25 or 30 years ago, and when she started it, they only took 25%, but then she sold it 10 years ago to somebody else, and they take a full 50%.
Yeah.
So it's almost not an advantage. And the other thing is for websites, I was curious if you were familiar with Art Storefront and Faso, and which is Bold Brush and those folks.
So that's a whole nother I should include that in the presentation. So that's a whole nother ball game. So what they do is they have they have set up websites for artists that are strictly shops. And so you could set up a
That's Art
shop.
Storefronts is because I'm on FASO because and it's a very professional looking website, and you have e-commerce and newsletters built in and analytics, and they do a lot of marketing too if you want. So
Yes, and so,
they're
but
very different.
those websites have a limitation from what you can do with it, how you can structure. But like storefronts, you can set up a shop, and they will handle all the selling, et cetera, for your artwork as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that because they started as a print on demand house, I think,
Right.
and went into it, whereas FASO is a little differently.
Yeah.
But I was curious about I keep seeing this stuff from Saatchi and people like that.
Yeah, you know, Saatchi has millions of artists, so you get lost in the multitude of artists that are on their website. But so I don't expect to sell art on Saatchi, but when somebody is Googling certain things, Saatchi pops up a lot, and artists that fit the search words will pop up through Saatchi. So it's a way to get some visibility.
Visibility. Do these places like Saatchi have a charge for artists to be on their site? Or
Some do and some don't. So again, you know, all of these are different. So it's you
Right.
can look into that and see. I know that Saatchi started out as free and commission only. So whether they've added a fee or not,
they're doing,
not know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your questions. Any other questions before we move on? So has anyone sold their artwork online before? Raise your hand if you have. No? Okay, so you might look into it. So the first one you might look into, since Caroline brought it up, is U Gallery. They're very artist friendly, and they really work really hard to promote and show and sell artist work. They're active on social media. They post on a daily basis. So they're really worth looking at. So Tina, you had your hand up. Did you have a question or comment?
I've sold my art online from a couple of those different resources that you mentioned.
Okay.
Oh my God, probably 20 years ago on eBay. Haven't done it for a long time, but I have my own website that has my art. I thought it was very interesting that you mentioned earlier that you have different websites for your work, because there's different markets to your work. I run into the problem where I have too many. Because I have a for-profit, I have a nonprofit, I have my personal artwork. I just started the new one called Daddy's Ashes that has the ash infused art. For me, I like that you said you had two.
Well, I
Everyone's
do for
always
my artwork, and then I also just started Chicago HQ, which is a new one for Chicago artwork, and then I have the Artist Network. So I actually maintain 4 websites.
So you're like me, and I'm like trying. Everyone's telling me you got to simplify, you got to simplify, but I have a hard time finding a way to simplify because they're different audiences and different
Yes.
price ranges and different things, and um
That way you can target to your specific markets, to your niche.
exactly.
And if somebody goes to a website, sees too many different things all on one website, I've known gallerists specifically have said, how can they be good at any one thing when they're doing so many different things?
Exactly. I totally agree with you. And I don't want my gallery people seeing, the cute little ceramic pots I sell at the farm place down the street for 55 bucks, like they don't need to know about that because they don't care about that.
Right.
So I love that you mentioned that. And I know someday soon we'll have our own one-on-one session and we can talk a little bit more about that together, just on how to, even within all of those websites, how to simplify, or what things do you just not put on there at all and you just sell them on your Facebook page,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to always clarify because I have so many things going on out there.
So that way you can pinpoint your audience. Tina, thanks so much for sharing that.
Sure.
And
Thank you.
Did you want to ask a question or make a comment?
Oh, I just wondered, it's kind of non-related, but do you have any recommendations for print shops that do really excellent work with reproduction, canvas reproductions
Are you seeing in person or online?
online or
Online.
online or
So everybody I know uses, give me a second, Bay Photos.
what's the name?
Bay Photos.
A
BAYPHOTOS. They do great printing on metal. They've expanded to print on wood and on acrylic, on glass, as well as to traditional paper and canvas. And they do drop shipping to clients. So you can have somebody go to your website, make a purchase, and then you just send the order directly to Bay Photos. They print and ship it directly to your client. And so this is the number one print company that all the artists I know have used, and I've used them myself. When I decided to start doing print, I picked 3 different companies and tested each one. And the quality of the prints were really bad, or they were very expensive, and Bay Photo had the best quality and the best price.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the question. Okay, we need to
Stephen?
move on because we have a lot of more information to cover. So the next topic we're going to talk about is art rentals and leasing. So art rental and leasing represents innovative avenues through which artists can generate income while offering collectors and businesses the opportunity to enjoy artwork without the commitment of an outright purchase. This model allows for a dynamic and mutually beneficial relationship between artists and their patrons. Here's an exploration of how artists may generate income through the art rental and leasing. So first, there's art leasing platforms. So there's Turning Art. So platforms like Turning Art, they act as intermediaries, connecting artists with businesses interested in leasing art. Artists receive compensation for the lease, and their work gains exposure in various corporate settings. So you don't make a lot of money, but you do receive some money through this, and they can set it up for 1 month or 6 months or different time periods. And so you get your work leased through this platform. So you don't have to do the work yourself. There's also ArtSpace. So ArtSpace, like an online marketplace, has featured artists who offer their work for lease. This model allows artists to tap into a different market segment and diversify their income streams. So you might check out ArtSpace and how that works as well. There's Artsy Homes. I think somebody mentioned that earlier. So online platforms like Artsy Homes specialize in art rental, allowing individuals and businesses to lease art for their spaces. Artists can list their work on such platforms, reaching a wider audience interested in temporary art arrangements. So all these 3 already have clients. They have people that use them. So it's a whole new market. You just tie in with them, post your artwork there, and then all these people that are using these platforms to rent or lease art can choose your artwork amongst many other artists. There's also art leasing for home staging. So home staging has become a huge business. And I know a lot of people, even artists, who've gotten into the home staging business. So real estate industry is huge. So artists can collaborate with real estate agents and home stagers to provide artwork for staging homes. This not only helps in selling properties faster, but also allows artists to earn income as their pieces contribute to the overall presentation of a space. So they can lease art from you. Sometimes they actually buy artwork outright from the artist and use it over and over again with their clients. There's also corporate art leasing, so office spaces and businesses. Many corporations seek to enhance their office environments by incorporating artwork, so artists can collaborate with these entities, offering their pieces for lease. Corporate clients benefit from regularly refreshed artwork, while artists gain a steady income stream. So you can approach businesses in your community to see if they'd be interested in you leasing your artwork to them. You can create a customized leasing agreement for any of these situations. So you can tailor the contracts so artists can personalize leasing agreements based on the specific needs and preferences of their clients. This may include factors such as duration of the lease, maintenance responsibility, and the option for the leasee to eventually purchase the artwork. So I have an example that you can go to the website for David Hayes, and he has a lease agreement, a PDF file on his website. So you can check that out. You can download that. You can then use that as a reference and adjust it to your preferences. So in conclusion, art rentals and leasing present artists with dynamic opportunities to monetize their creations without relinquishing ownership. By embracing these models, artists can establish recurring income streams, broaden their audience, and contribute to the accessibility and appreciation of art in diverse settings. Okay, so we'll take a break for any questions. So does anyone have a question specifically about the leasing? Okay, Tina, you put your hand up first. What question do you have?
Do all of the places, the print shops and all of these leasing places, are they all leasing and printing from the originals, or can you send them a high quality photo of your flat pieces if you're doing paintings or
Okay,
drawings or whatever?
so in this section about leasing your artwork, I'm talking about original artwork. Now,
Okay.
they may be interested in prints as well, but a lot of time they want to utilize the actual artwork. So a business such as a bank and their offices may lease artwork for the walls. So they want to present a image of very high quality business. And so they'll have original artwork on their walls and not just prints.
Okay.
Okay, Colette, you had a question?
Well, how much work is that involving, Stephen, with artwork? I mean, I'm visualizing artwork going for leases and then coming back to the artist to repack and send out to another place. Is that the way it works? I'm just curious.
Basically, but you know, if you work locally, then you can
Um,
hand deliver and hand pick up, and it makes it much easier and less expensive to ship it around. But again, using companies like Turning Point, where they've have established clients, you can specify your demographics and things like that. So I think it's, again, worth looking into to see if there's a platform that matches your interests. Okay, and Caroline, you have a question also?
Yeah, I was curious if there's an overlap between the leasing organizations and art consultants.
So we're going to talk about art consultants next,
Yeah,
which is a different category.
that's what I was curious if there's any overlap or if they
So
tend.
generally, art consultants don't handle leasing, they handle sales directly. So they actually buy the artwork outright from you for their clients. So I don't know of any art consultants that actually lease artwork. I do know a couple that they'll have agreements with hotels where they'll switch out every 3 months. They'll switch out the artwork in those businesses and hotels. We did that at Art Gallery. We had an art consulting business where we'd switch out the art, and the art was available for sale while it's on the site. So I know artists that have had work at the Four Seasons Hotel in such and such location who actually sold artwork through people that were at the hotel that saw the work for sale. So usually art consultants do not handle rentals.
That kind of thing. But with the hotels, how did the hotels let people know things were for sale? Did they have actual signs that?
No, I did not, I'm not involved with that art consultant, but I know that there are several hotels that they work with. And at ARC, we had several banks and businesses that we worked with, that all the artwork was for sale.
Interesting. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your questions. So we'll go ahead and resume the presentation. Let's see, here we go. So art consultants and interior designers, I have a whole program just on this, a whole 2 hours. So just briefly, art consultants are something that you could pursue. They can establish establish partnerships with art consultants who often work with clients seeking artwork. Also, interior designers. Many artists have found success by collaborating with interior designers for both residential and commercial projects. So an art consultant works only with art, whereas an interior designer works with not only the artwork, but the carpet, the drapes, the paint color on the walls, the furniture, the lamps, the lighting, every aspect. So art is just one aspect that they work with, but art consultants can concentrate only on artwork. So you can create a page on your website devoted to working with the design trade. So there's an example. Paul Westacott has set up a really great website. And so here's a link to his website, but also we're going to look at it here. So he has his page called Working with Design Professionals, and he targets interior architects and designers, as well as realtors and home staging. So he gives structure, the process, the percentage, etc. And he sent up a page that also where he can, how can I help you? I'm a seasoned professional. I have flexibility and creativity. My art is made with love and passion and competitive pricing. He also has a catalog, an online catalog. So you can click on his catalog link and see images of his artwork that's available and images of his artwork in settings. So this is a great example if you want to set up a page for the design trade. Okay, any questions about the design trade before we move on? Okay. Has anybody worked with art consultants or interior designers in the past? Okay, Colette, if you want to unmute yourself and just share, did you find that an easy process? Oh, so Colette, you need to unmute yourself. Colette, you need to unmute yourself.
It was
There
in
you
a different context, because I worked as an artist in a custom furniture outlet, and I
go. Okay,
a lot of custom finishes on furniture pieces they would bring to me and do that. But I thought about doing this, Stephen, but I have never actually approached them as far as artwork goes, but that's an excellent idea.
okay. Well, I'm glad you like that idea, because when I lived in San Diego, I lived in San Diego for 5 years, and I decided to really pursue this. And I ended up working with 2 different consultants on a regular basis, and I had regular income from them. They would give me a project. I would custom make artwork for their project. It might be 28 pieces, and I'd have 6 months to create the work. They would give me 50% of my cut up front, and then 50% went on when I delivered. So I actually made money before I even made the artwork. And so you can work with art consultants, and it can create a really nice income stream. Whereas with art galleries, it's more challenging to work with art galleries, but art consultants are always looking for new artists. So you might look into that as well.
I also worked for a company called Color Design Art in California for years. I lived in Idaho, and they would send me the wallpaper samples, what they wanted in each room, and they would go in, do the design of the homes, the model home, and they would decorate it, you know, with fun little signs and all kinds of stuff. I did all kinds of stuff for that.
Yeah.
And there was a crash, and then everything went away. I think they just shocked. And so
Well, now a lot of art galleries have started up doing art consulting on the side, and several of them have shared with me that their art consulting, they bring in a lot more income than they do from their actual physical art gallery. So art consulting has become very big as well.
darn, well, thank you.
Okay, Colette, thank you for sharing that. And Caroline, you had a question?
Well, yeah, following up on what Colette said, it sounded very interesting that if art consultants, it's like a consignment. What you're talking about, your arrangement with the 28 pieces, that's not a consignment,
Commission.
a commission arrangement, because the standard commission agreement, as I understand it, is 50% upfront.
Yes.
50% on delivery. So that makes, I didn't realize that art consultants could work that way as well. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, in fact, the majority of my business with art consultants was customized work where I 50% upfront to create the work as to their specifications. So if you don't mind, somebody say, we want 6 of these and we want them in these colors, these sizes, and heavy on this red, 2 pieces, heavy on blue, and these 2 pieces, then if you don't mind doing work like that, it's a really good income stream to develop. Okay, Caroline, thank you for your questions. So we're going to go ahead and resume the program. We still have more to cover. So this is something that I also have some experience with, but the industry has changed. So cleared art for film and TV. So cleared art is artwork that has been cleared for use by a third party. So that's a term that the film and TV and entertainment industry uses. So it means that the artwork has been approved by the artist, basically. So any artwork that is being used on a film or TV set can only be used with written consent from the artist. Therefore, it is cleared by the artist. Set decorators and film set designers are the ones who create the overall look for TV series and films. They usually work with hundreds of artists from emerging talents to established artists to provide thousands of cleared artworks and images with lightning fast turnaround to pick up or ship or to print for client specific needs. So much of the art in films and TV used to be originals, but is now printed to fulfill specific requests or size requirements with high resolution archival pigment prints on fine art watercolor paper, photo paper, or canvas, which also can be stretched. So it used to be that they would actually rent the original artwork. It usually was 10% for each month that they were using it. My artwork was included in the film Antoine Fisher with Denzel Washington, and my artwork was in his home office and in his living room. And they were filming for 3 months in San Diego. And so I ended up getting 10% for each month, which was 30% of the actual retail price of the artwork for that time period. And then the artwork came back to me. But now, because of the high cost of renting original artwork and the logistics of delivering original artwork or picking up original artwork, much of the industry has changed to printing. So they will use the artists that they're in their archive or in their library. They'll contact the artist and say, we'd love to feature this piece of artwork in this set for our upcoming movie. Can we rent the image? So you would send them a digital image and then they would print it, stretch it, put it online. Any questions about this? Caroline, you have your hand up. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, that's fine for 2-dimensional work, but do they do much with 3-dimensional work? What do they do for, sculptures? And I do glass. That's definitely not.
So with the glass work that you do, they might need to physically have that on the set. So they may have a sofa table and they want a piece of round art glass on that table. That may be part of their set design. So they'll look for that. So they can't print that out. So they'll actually need to rent the actual piece for the time period that they're filming.
I'm just curious if they do that very much, since it's more involved now than.
They usually work with local vendors, so they work with stores locally or certain.
Oh, like if it's LA.
If it's LA, they'll work with LA, contacts. If they're doing a set on site, so if they're filming in Albuquerque, they'll use vendors and resources in Albuquerque for those actual items. They'll need furniture. So I see you have some furniture in your background. So you may do some research into the entertainment industry and contact them and let them know that you have unique furniture that's available for rent. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, so we still have a little bit of time left. So let's go ahead and wrap up the program. So you can also license your artwork for products. So licensing your artwork involves selling the right to use your images to companies for individuals for a fee. So for example, your artwork could be used on products such as t-shirt, mugs, or phone cases. Licensing is an excellent option if you're looking for a passive income stream, and it can lead to significant profit if your artwork becomes popular. So it's income that is passive because you just lease your design and they handle the presentation, the printing, the promotion, etc., and shipping. There are websites like art.com and Cafe Press where you can license your artwork and start earning royalties on product like that. So one thing to note is that it can be challenging to find companies or individuals who are interested in licensing your work, but once you do, it can be a great passive way for developing income. I actually had, I'm blanking out, William Sonoma contact me about using some of my images for plates and napkins. And so I got into discussion with them on that. And I found that they wanted me to make too many changes from the original work that they were interested in. And I decided not to go forward in that, but they contacted me. But that's something you might look for, companies that might be interested in that as well. So any questions about licensing your artwork for products? Any questions? Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue. Okay, and also there's accepting art commissions. Another way to make money from your art is by accepting commissions. We just talked about that a little bit with the art consultants. So commission work involves creating custom pieces of artwork for clients who pay for your services. This approach is an excellent way to build a portfolio of work, gain experience, and get paid for it. This can be a great venture if you really have a unique style, or as commissions can help you build relationships with clients and lead to repeat business. You can also set up your own rates and choose your projects that you want to accept, giving you more control over your workload and income. However, the downside is that you may need to create art that isn't necessarily your preferred style or subject matter, and you may have to deal with difficult clients. To create a page on your website devoted to how to commission your artwork, you can look at these two artists. Todd Berman has a page on art commissions, and Gene Hansen also has a page on art commissions. They're both very different and they're very targeted, but you can see their wording, their structure, etc., that you might want to use. So this is Lauren's custom paintings created for your life, your space, and your memories. It's very well designed and well written. Okay, any questions about art commissions? Raise your hand if you have a question about art commissions. Okay, Carolyn, yes?
I'm curious how, if you're just getting started, how you would get your name out that you do this.
So if you set up your page for art commissions, and you can do an email campaign, send emails out and say, I now offer art commissions. So you can select, what size, what colors. You can pick bowls, you can put tables. You can make a selection, make it easy for them, and then do an email announcement. You put it on your website. If you're doing events, you can do a postcard, a jumbo postcard with all the information, basic information, how to commission work from you, and hand that out to people that visit you at an art show or at open studios or an event like that. So you can promote it in different ways. Does that help?
That's helpful because I've got it here someplace. I made these up for the in-person shows, and that was very helpful. So now I want to do one with a QR code on it, but that's I could have one specifically around
for commissions. Yeah, that would be a great tool for you.
interesting, because I've had people interested in that and I didn't follow up at the time.
Yeah, so you could look at those websites and get an idea how to create a page for you and then promote it. So let's go back to the program since we just starting to run over. I think this is the last section. You can also teach your art skills. If you're an experienced artist, teaching others your art skills can be a lucrative way to make money. Teaching can also help you refine your own skills and gain a better understanding of your craft, as well as creating a space for you to share your passion for art and inspire others to develop their own creativity. But it's important to keep in mind that this is much less passive than the other options that we discussed, as it requires time, effort, and preparation, but it can lead to a much more defined and lucrative opportunity for monetizing your practice. Offering art workshops, classes, or one-on-one sessions not only serves as a source of income, but also positions artists as educators. You can create an online course and sell them through platforms like Squarespace, Udemy, and Skillshare, or on your own website. Any questions about teaching art? Raise your hand if you have any questions about that. Okay, so we're going to wrap up now. So let's see. If you'd like me to email you with a PDF file handout of this program, please email me a request to do so at stephen5w@sbcglobal.net. So if you want the PDF file with the hot links, just email me. And tomorrow morning, I will reply to the emails with the attachment of the PDF file. So you can register for additional programs. This spring, I'm doing programs every other Monday. So in March, the 17th, we have Create an Attention Grabbing Portfolio website, and then Stand Out and Shine, and then how that's getting recognition and visibility. And then in April, we have Working with Art Consultants and Interior Designers. That's 2 hours specifically devoted to that. And then on the 28th, we have How to Stand Out in Crowded Social Media. And then the last program of the spring is May 12th, Open Your Doors, Prepare for Your Open Studios event. And I clicked on the wrong button. I apologize. So let's go on. So just to let you know, I do affordable one-on-one consultations with artists to help you develop strategies, goals, and action plans for your career. They're regularly $145. But if you haven't worked with me before, I have a $99 first-time special. So you can email me and I can let you know about that. Also, if you're a California artist, the Quick Grant program offers up to $600 in reimbursement for working with art consultants, coaches, and mentors. So that means you can receive 4 free one-on-one sessions with me and have that reimbursed by the Quick Grant program. So if you're interested in that, email me and I can give you more information about that as well. So I'm in Mexico City for 3 months this winter, and I offered one-on-one, or I offered art and food tours in February. I'm doing another set this month in March. So I already have opened up registration for next year, which is February 10th to 13th. So if you're interested in coming down to Mexico City during the winter, you can come to the art fairs the week before. There's 4 different art fairs that are happening the week before. And then the week after, I'm offering these art and food tours to visit art galleries in 4 different areas of Mexico City. So if you want more information, you can look that up on the website as well. So you could register for any of these online programs or learn about one-on-one consulting at sfartistnetwork.org. So if you know other artists that you think would benefit from these programs, please share the website link or forward the emails to them. And I would appreciate that greatly. So to wrap up, I'd like to get feedback from each of you. I'm going to ask each of you to share with me one thing that you felt was new or important that you learned from this program. So Caroline, if you want to unmute yourself and share with me one thing briefly that you felt was a key takeaway from tonight's program.
Well, about Uline Galleries and that group of entities that do that, because that's a different wrinkle that I wasn't aware of. I'm going to definitely research that.
Okay, good. Thank you, Caroline, for sharing that. And thanks for joining the program tonight. And Colette, if you want to unmute yourself and share with us one thing that you felt was new or important that you learned from tonight's program. Colette, you need to unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself, please. You need to unmute yourself. Colette, you're still not unmuted.
There.
There you go.
Okay. Thanks again, Stephen. This was another excellent class. My takeaway is I'm going to contact my real estate agent who does a lot of staging,
Okay.
things of that nature, and I'm going to contact
You
her.
might go online and just check for other staging companies in your area as well. But good, thanks for sharing that, and thanks for registering and participating in the program tonight.
Thank you
And,
for
okay, and Louise, if you want to unmute yourself, you came in a little late, but if you want to share with us a key takeaway from tonight's program, you're still not unmuted. There we go.
Yeah, it was a little tricky. Yeah, sorry, I was on the bus trying to get home from work. And I couldn't connect on the bus. There was no internet on the bus. So sorry for being late. But yes, this was important to hear about all the different avenues of how you can lease, rent, other options, all the great options. So that was very beneficial. Thank you.
Okay, Louise, thank you so much. And the PDF file has the entire program, so anything that you missed will be in the PDF file. So
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for sharing us, and thanks for joining us. And Tina, if you want to unmute yourself and share with us one thing that you felt was new or
Sure.
that you learned tonight.
You know, I do a lot of research a lot. So a lot of things I've heard over my life, but I love that I now have it all written in some notes in one little place, because otherwise it's in my drawers and drawers of notes. And you also got me, I'm very three-dimensional. And I think maybe if some of my things I could make more of something that would be flat and that could have prints made of it and could be, um, used in these other forms, I think that would probably help me sell more, so putting some of
That
my
makes sense.
logos on more flat surfaces instead of, just my sculptures or my glass or my hanging things. So you kind of have my brain. You always have my brain moving. You're
Okay,
amazing.
good. Okay, Tina, thank you so much for sharing that. And thanks for joining the program tonight. And Christy, if you want to share with us something that you thought was a key takeaway from tonight's program for you.
Well, let me see. I've listened to this program before, but this was a lot more meaningful tonight because last time I was so focused on a brick and mortar gallery, which I did get into, but neither one of them is really selling much.
Okay, Christy, thanks so much for your feedback, and thanks so much for joining the program tonight. So it was good to see everybody tonight, and I hope to see you at future programs, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.